Good evening or good morning, wherever you are. Welcome back to my channel, Intuitive Insights in Tarot. I'm Scott. Glad you could join me. Hi, Serena. I've got Cherie with me. Hello, Cherie. How are you doing?
Doing pretty good tonight, Scott. Thanks for asking.
Yeah. Oh, before I get into the story I'm going to read on today, which is this the third extraterrestrial body that's come into our solar system or whatever is out there. There's something out there. I'm just not exactly sure what it is in beyond our realm. But this is the third one that's come in, according to astronomers from another, well, from outside of our solar system. So it really is extraterrestrial or extrasolar, I guess. Um, and I can't remember the first one, but there was one called Oumuamua. Do you remember that?
Yep, I remember that.
And it was had a really strange shape because it was this like long cigar looking thing which looked like a spaceship, and that one did some really strange stuff. It like slowed down, it changed direction, it did all these strange things that nobody could explain. And this one, which is called Three Eye Atlas, uh, appears to be emitting its own light. So I'm going to read what they're saying about it. And this one guy is saying that's saying that maybe this is extraterrestrial technology. But before that, I want to tell you about something that happened here in this room a few nights ago that is a complete mystery that I'm going to try to use my cards to figure out. Um,
Okay.
so this was about 3 or 4 nights ago, and I'm in bed, and I need to explain my bedroom entertainment room a little bit to you. It's I've got well, I can kind of show you. I've got a like this divider that I hang up on between the two rooms because my air conditioner isn't quite powerful enough to cool this whole room, so that helps. And it just makes a divider, but it's not a wall. It's just a some fabric I hung up there. Now, and then over here, right across from me, there's a lazy boy and my TV, which I also use as my monitor. That's where I sit and watch TV. This is my workspace right here. And then I turn it around and I got my living space over there. And I have a dog and two cats that normally sleep in the bedroom with me. Usually Sandy, my dog's with me in the bed, and the two cats are out here. And so I get woken up in the middle of the night quite often by the animals and stuff, and I got to let the dogs out. This night I woke up. I think it must have been around 3 or 4 in the morning. I didn't look at the watch, but it was in the middle of the night. Um, and as I'm lying there waiting to drift back into sleep, I suddenly hear this very strange sound, and it's coming from the direction of where my lazy boy is, which is right across from me, 5 feet across from me. And I'm going to try to reproduce the sound that I heard, and it happened twice, and it sounded like this. And that sound, it actually sounds a lot like a gibbon monkey or a gibbon ape. They're not monkeys, they're apes, which we have here in Thailand, which I've seen out in the wild. Um, but this sound completely startled me. Uh, it it was not. Somebody said, could it have been like from your TV or computer? Nope, I shut them down. Plus, the sounds were vocalized, just like what I heard, what you heard me make. It was organic. It wasn't a computer. Um, I've been racking my brain trying to come up with possibilities. Well, first off, as I'm laying there, the first whoop really took me by surprise. Then when I heard the second one, and then I was like waiting for more, and then I thought I didn't know what was going on, but it went quiet. So laid there in bed trying to figure out what in the world I just heard. And about 10 seconds later, I decided I had to get up and investigate because it sounded like something or someone was in my room, which was impossible because my dog would have barked.
Uh-huh.
So I turn on the light. I come out here and I turn on the lights in this area here. There's nothing here. The cats are sleeping peacefully. There's nothing. And in complete bewilderment, I went back to bed. So I've been racking my brain trying to figure out, like, logically using Occam's razor. The simplest answer is usually the correct one. What in the world that sound could have been? Could someone have gotten past my gate, which is locked with I have a bell on it. So if anybody were to move it, it would make a noise and it would wake up my dog and it would wake me up. So could somebody have snuck past that, gotten not in my room, but really close to my window and made that sound? Really unlikely, but possible. Um, could I have dreamed it or imagined it somehow? That's possible. And those are the only two like rational things I can think of. Um, don't you think, Sheree? Can you think, or let me look at the chat? Can anybody before I pull cards on this? Oh, there's Susan. Oh no, I was looking for. I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm gonna pause and look at the chat here for a minute and give people a moment to respond. Um,
The only thing
let
that
me
would really
open.
make sense is your neighbor, but you know, you know what noises from your neighbor usually sounds like. But
Yeah,
then
which
again,
is nothing.
then again, 3 o'clock in the morning, you know,
Well, like I said, they would have to get right, like in order to for it to sound the way it did. I mean, my walls are thin, and I've got these jalousie, the slatted windows, and there's not much insulation. So that's possible, but still really unlikely.
all right.
Let me see, I'm gonna pull up the chat. Okay, I see tug of light there. Okay, but that's I mean, but can besides the possibilities, those possibilities rationally, okay, my imagination or dreaming would probably be the most like logical thing that it could have been. Okay, so Susan says maybe ancestors from spirit world. Okay, that's the like
But
the
usually
final
cats, yeah, but cats
what's that?
usually cats pick up on that. They can
Uh
usually hear it. They can hear it.
yeah. Yeah, they were sleeping peacefully. Um okay, but the two strongest possibility, I mean the strongest possibility without getting into this really supernatural stuff is that it was my imagination. My brain made this up or I was sleeping, but I know I wasn't sleeping and I've never had an auditory hallucination before. I wasn't I'm not on any drugs or anything. I wasn't at the time and I'm not now either. But I'm gonna do use the same criteria that I would with my clients when they tell me these strange stories like this. I'm gonna draw cards on it and it's either going to be something that can be easily, explained away, like my imagination, I was dreaming, which the cards will tell me that. Or if I get, some like like the star or the major arcanas that have to do with the supernatural,
Right.
then I'll let the cards tell me what it is. I'm going to try to get some. I've been waiting, haven't done any cards on this because I when I do readings like this for myself, I don't like to do them alone because I need witnesses. So you guys are going to be my witnesses. Okay.
Okay.
So what was this strange sound that I heard? The gibbon monkey whooping sound. Okay, so this is me, Queen of Swords. So this is showing how I'm really trying to use rational thought and like scientific observation. 11 of Wands. I'm gonna have to adjust my camera height and stuff to get these cards in. Three of Pentacles. Oh, this is looking very mundane, very ordinary. Nine of Cups. Wheel of Fortune. Hmm. That's the only major arcana in there. King of Wands. And Death. Okay. Oh, okay. Who said ancestors? Who was it said ancestors? Raise your hand. Yeah. I mean,
Susan.
yeah. Um, for one thing, it was because I was in a in or near a theta sleep state. Okay, so but not a dream because this is not a dream, but just really like tired and worn out. Like so maybe in a place where my brain was open to some kind of communication. Um, so of the king of wands down there. My father was a prankster.
I was thinking it probably your dad, but I wasn't going to say it.
Yeah, yeah, no, well, the death card. My father, who's passed away on the other side, he's a prankster. Um, and this is the type of thing that he would do. And I'm always this nine of cups. I'm always looking for communications from my father. When I was in America, in our the home that I grew up in, he was there with me. I mean, I actually saw his an apparition at
Hmm.
film walk past. So yeah, and by the way, I heard a voice one other time coming from the same direction in this room, and it was the day before. This was during the pandemic, and the language school that I was working in part time at the time had been closed for a while, and that night I heard one word in a very loud male voice say no. It was just like that. That was all I heard. And it was this, but it was very similar to the whooping sound that I heard because it was an audible sound. It was a voice, someone's voice, and it was very nearby and it was in the room with me. So there is a history of and by the way, what happened was that day later on that day, I got a call from the school saying, "Hey, you can come back to we're opening back up. You can come back to work if you get the shot." And so I gave her a one word answer on the phone. I said, no, just like I'd heard the voice like that night say, and then I hung up the phone. I felt like that was like my father telling me to say no. So yeah, this was my dad joking around. There may have been something hidden in the frequency of the sound that I heard that was meant to like encourage me because like just like in this nine of wands here, i'm I've been going through a low period, and as we've talked about it before, like I haven't been being kept busy with work, with haven't been getting many bookings, and just starting to kind of feel like some things were against me, um in in my life recently. Um, so maybe I think that in this Wheel of Fortune turns things around. So maybe there was something in the tone that was meant to give me uplift me or something. But yeah, I
Well,
mean, with the outcome being these three cards here, and like I said, having heard a disembodied voice in this room before, I never did a reading on that one, but I just kind of knew it was from my father. Okay, well, I'm gonna accept what the cards say that my dad was here singing to me. And
that's neat.
yeah, my dad gone out of his way to reach out from the astral plane, especially since he didn't believe in it before he passed away. He didn't believe in life after death. So I'm just noticing for the first time these top supporters like Susan Chamberlain. She's number one, and Garvey is number two. And I apologize, I don't recognize your name. That's really cool that you're number two contributor to the chat here. Yeah, Anne's talking about she lost her youngest brother. Yeah, I'm really sorry for your loss. What happened to my cursor? Maybe my battery's dying. On my mouse. This is not a good time for that to happen. I think I have other batteries. I'm gonna have to go grab one. Okay, there we go. It's working again. Yeah, I'm sorry for your loss, Anne. Um, but I have to say, my father passed away in 2011, and he was immediately communicating with me telepathically. I could hear him in my head. He was manipulating objects. Wow, 50 people are watching. Okay. Um, glad you're all here. Let me just finish what I'm saying here. After that happened, and I wish everybody could have an experience like this. I don't feel like I'm losing people when they pass away. They're here, they're with us. You know what I mean? There is no such thing as death. I just don't see it that way. Okay, let me get to the topic of the story today. This comet, they're calling it a comet, an interstellar visitor. Let's see. Oh, real quick, Susan Chamberlain says, I hear my name being called at night for as long as I can remember. Wow. It's a voice that I feel safe with, but not recognized. Yeah. Yeah, I get nothing. I don't feel like it's unsafe. Let's see. Nice to see you, Scott. Okay. Um, oh, and one other thing about that, the strange sound that I heard. I mentioned it to a couple of clients that I was doing readings for, and they told me that they listened to Tarot by Janine, which I love Janine, but I don't listen to her or other readers or psychics because I don't like to be I want to be uninfluenced when I do readings on topical things like what's going on. So, if I heard somebody else say something that could influence me in my reading. So that's the only reason I don't follow people. But I was told that on Tarot by Janine, other people have been talking about strange sounds like hearing strange sounds like that as well, which is interesting. So if anybody else knows anything about that, heard anything about that, put it in the chat. Okay,
Whispers. They were
back
talking
to
about
this.
whispers.
Go ahead.
They were talking about whispers.
Whispers. Oh, so you follow Tarot by Janine, her
Once in a
website?
while. Well,
Okay. So people talking about whispers. Yeah, I was told people heard strange sounds as well. Okay, so if anybody has heard any stories like that, put them in the chat. I'd like to know. Okay, so let's get to this interstellar visitor. May be producing its own light, says Harvard University scientist. And I'm just going to read this article. It's kind of short. There has been much hype and discussion surrounding Three Eye Atlas, since it was first spotted in our solar system back in the 1st of July of this year. Unlike the vast majority of comets we observe from Earth, which originate from the outer edges of the solar system, 3I Atlas is an interstellar visitor. That means it was born out in deep space. It's temporarily passing through our solar system and will eventually exit our solar system. It's one of only three such bodies known, the other two being one eye Oumuamua, discovered in 2017, and two eye Borisov, discovered in 2019. Uh, and among some minority voices, at least, there's discussion as to whether interstellar visitors like this could, in fact, be extraterrestrial technology. Of course, such ideas are refuted by a vast majority of scientists who point to clear observations showing that 3I Atlas is indeed a comet. 3I Atlas is recognized by astronomers and scientists, including NASA and the European Space Agency, as being an interstellar comet. Yet Harvard scientist Avi Loeb is one prominent voice well known for addressing the idea that objects like Oumuamua and 3I Atlas could be behaving like some sort of extraterrestrial technology. Loeb comments remain controversial among science circles, and there's yet no evidence that objects like 3I Atlas are indeed anything other than comets. In a blog posted on the 18th of August, 2025, Avi Loeb makes some pretty outlandish claims. Yeah, well, we love outlandish claims, don't we? Got to be willing to accept the possibility that everything you think you know or are told by scientists is a lie. 3I Atlas could be producing its own light. In the blog post, Loeb looks to the recent Hubble Space Telescope image and says the image shows a glow of light, likely from a coma, ahead of the motion of 3I Atlas towards the sun. There's no evidence for a bright cometary tail in the opposite direction. The glow has the glow was interrupted as evaporation of dust from the sun facing side of 3I Atlas. After analysis of the light emitted by 3I Atlas in a science paper published by Loeb, the simplest interpretation is that the nucleus of 3I Atlas produces most of the light. Notice he says the simplest interpretation. That's Occam's razor, by the way. Produces its own light. And 3I Atlas could be a spacecraft powered by a nuclear energy, and the dust emitted from its frontal surface might be from dirt that accumulated on its surface during the interstellar travel. This cannot be ruled out, but requires better evidence. Well, I'm going to use my cards to find out about this light, right? Because so for those of you who don't know how comets work, they're big balls of dirty I dirty ice. And as they get close to the sun, the radiation from the sun, the solar wind, as it's called, hits this dust and blows it away from the direction of the sun. The reason they're saying that this seems to be emitting its own light is because the light from the coma is in front of it, like towards the sun. So it shouldn't be there. Okay, and Tug of Light says it feels like an observatory coming to witness this time in our realm. I was thinking maybe because it's passing through, it's not going to be hanging around. That that it could be dropping something off. Um, that would be like a probe, and that would be like what Tug of Light is talking about, an observation probe, something like that. Okay, so just gonna see what the cards say. And thank you for the super chats, guys. I'll get to them in just a minute. I only got a couple of emails to read as well with questions. I'll get those as well. Um, Sarah Walden, I believe that's her name. You see this? I'll be getting to your question on your sister, your daughter's school in just a minute. Okay, so just to let you know, things that would indicate that this is an extraterrestrial ship of some sort would be the star, obviously, the chariot, the sun, the moon, any of the celestial things. And then there's some other possibilities that I haven't mentioned yet. We're just going to take a look. Okay, let me pull up my cards. I got them right there. Okay. All right. So this is for the comet itself. Magician. That's interesting. It's a major arcana. Doesn't necessarily mean an extraterrestrial vehicle, but a king, six of swords, ten of wands. Oh, that's interesting. I learned something recently, and there. Okay, this is the nine of cups. Sorry, nine of pentacles, temperance, and death. Okay, so I learned something recently that nines are associated with the moon. So when you look up like all the minor arcanas have are associations with or well the number nine is associated to the number to the major arcana of the moon. Okay. This is not one of the extraterrestrials like the ones that we know of that are part of the Star Alliance, like Pleiades, Arcturans, uh, the Syrians, and I'm trying to think of so can you think of some of the other extraterrestrial groups?
Put on the spot, put on the spot like that. No.
Yeah, I know, me too. Like there's something when I'm live, my brain always kind of malfunctions when I'm trying to remember facts and stuff. Um,
Mm.
okay, it is not one of them. Um, it it is okay. So because of the moon and the death card that I'm getting, what it was a moon of another system somewhere that got thrown out. Um, so it's a natural body. However, um, everything has a consciousness. So in a way, it is an extraterrestrial, but it's not technology. It's more like an entity. It's its own entity. But it was part of a system at one time, and then it got thrown out. And it's essentially no longer alive or dormant. Um, so the light, where would that light be coming from? Draw another card. There's some natural process. Oh, and the devil. There's some kind of natural process. Either there's like a natural radioactive material on it that is reacting somehow, maybe with since it's coming into our solar system and it's getting some energy from the sun that is then making a reaction happen on the surface that is emitting its own light. but it's not technological though. Okay, I'm gonna go with that. Um, because I'm not getting anything there that's showing me that it's like technology. Okay. All right. So higher dimension being or future us. Yeah. A high I just think it's an entity unto itself, but it's like got lost in space. Hmm. Okay. So before I get to my email messages, I'd like to answer uh or well, Lori doesn't have a question. She just sent a sticker. Thank you, Lori. I appreciate that.
Yeah,
That's
underneath
kind
her
of a
stick.
sad look. That's kind of a sad looking sticker, though. The poor
Yeah.
game controller with a broken arm. He looks so sad. I hope you're feeling all right, Lori. And if she has a question. Oh, she did put a question. How does okay, great. I see it now. I'll get to that in just a second. Let me read Michael Bowers, and he says, both my folks are 88 years old. I am their caregiver right now. What should I expect in the coming year? Thanks, Scott. Okay. So both of your parents are 88, and I don't like to read on two people at the same time. So like they're it kind of confuses things because you're looking at two different people. But your real question is, what should I expect in the coming year? So this reading is going to be that's not Michael, it's Michelle. I'm sorry. Michelle Bowers. Um, okay, so Michelle, you're the caregiver for both your parents that are each 88 years old. And what does the universe want to tell you? So this may or may not be in regards to your parents, but it's what can you do? What advice is there for you for dealing with the situation that you're in? I'm going to look at it that. Give these cards a little extra shuffle. Uh, by the way, I've decided that once I'm done with the questions from the audience and anything else that I may have to talk about, I'm going to switch this over to a members only uh, show, and because I would like to encourage people to join my members. I think it's only like $2 for the very lowest one. I mean, if you want to support me more than that, you could put in the you could go up to $10. But all I'm asking for two, and I think people who are members deserve something extra. So that's what I'm going to do today. All right, here we go. This is for you, Michelle. What kind of advice does the universe have for you in this stage of life that you're in with your folks? Okay, Tower, Ten of Swords, Page of Pentacles, Page of Cups, Three of Pentacles. Let's see, Eight of Cups. I need to look at my Zoom screen. And Five of Wands. Um, Now, if Michelle, if you were here, I'd ask you if you have any siblings because it looks to me a little bit like this responsibility was kind of thrust on you, that maybe you have other siblings, but maybe you're the eldest, or you're the more caregiver kind of person in the family, the more sensitive, more able to deal with emotional things. Um, and if you are the sole caregiver now, it looks like you have some help that's coming. Um, Somebody, or maybe friends or other siblings or family, because the outcome here being this card, Three of Pentacles. Um, this is working together, getting a group of people, and this is your outcome. So this means that this help is coming for you. So you're going to be getting some assistance, um, because you may be it may be a little bit more than you can handle by yourself.
He says, yes, I have a younger brother, lives farther away.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you for that information, Cherie, keeping me updated. Yeah, um, he might. You may need to reach out to him and ask him for help. If he's not stepping up, maybe the distance, and I could see like that could be why this card is this guy is kind of far away. If you notice in this card, this is the assistance, and he's kind of far away and maybe moving away. And he he might need some convincing to help. But maybe it's not him. Maybe he's not the right kind of person to be of assistance. But I'm telling you, you are going to be getting some assistance from somewhere. Let me see if I can give you some more. Yeah. Well, two aces. So that is yeah, they might be like if you're I'm not against religions, but if if you're in a church, or if you have a group of like-minded spiritual people, then they may be, or you may have to like get professionals help, like professional caregivers, if you get to the point where you're starting to feel overwhelmed. Okay. Um, but I think you still have time with your folks before they're ready to leave, I think. So it's not gonna don't feel like, anything's gonna happen soon. They're not going anywhere anytime soon, I believe, from looking at this. Um, which is why you're going to need some help in the future. So keep that in mind, and keep yourself open for that, looking for that. Where and how are you going to be getting assistance as it gets more difficult to take care of them as they get older. Okay, I hope that helped you.
He
Uh,
says he does and may be retiring next year.
next year. Oh, okay. Well, that gives another meaning to the Ten of Swords then, because this is a retirement card. So if that's the case, and like I said, I don't think there's any great urgency for your folks getting to where they're um, going to be in hospice or anything like that. So in that case, very well could be that your brother will be freed up then to help you with them. Um, there he might have like a differing opinion than you based on the Five of Wands that I saw there. That could be like a discussion where you guys are not arguing, but maybe have different ideas of what would be the best thing to do. So, but with those two aces that came up, you'll be able to find resolution to those problems. All right. So, best of luck to you. And let me see, did I get that right? Okay, that was Michelle, and now Lori.
Hmm.
I want to remind people that it's not mandatory to buy a sticker or a super chat. If you can, $5 is nice. I appreciate that. Um, or if you can't afford it at all, or you can't figure out how to do a super chat, just type your question in the chat, or you can send me an email, or you can buy me a coffee uh, and send it that way. In fact, I heard a notification. Let me make sure I'm not getting missing anything there. Nope. Okay. So Lori Skirchik, Skirchek, how does my finances look for the next year? Thank you. All right. All right, Lori, let's check it out. Oh, I meant to give an update. Before I get into that, I want to give this update on what I did on the taxes in the last live show. Um, so during that last live show, I asked live if anybody would be willing to come and talk about how, that if they haven't been doing the paperwork that you're supposed to do before, what is it, April 15th, right?
Correct.
And nobody chimed in on the chat. And then one of my clients she said, "Hey Scott, I'm one of those people you were talking about, but I didn't want to say it in the chat because I don't want to put any, you know, I don't want to put it out there," which makes sense to me now that I think about it. I'm asking people to admit to something that could get them in trouble, right? So maybe that's why. But she says this client said that she hasn't paid taxes in like 6 years, and she's had no problem. Um, so if you're one of those people, email me and let me know. There was another comment during that live stream from someone who claimed to be a CPA. They didn't prove it or anything, but and this may have been like, I don't know, a bot or something. But in the comment later on during the replay of that show, someone said, "Hey, I'm a CPA, and we get audits and messages, from IRS for clients all the time." And that got me thinking. I'm going to do a reading on this real quick after
Right.
I do the reading for Lori. Um, that got me thinking: who is getting the audits? What if the white hats are using the IRS uh, to investigate the cabal, like people who are getting their money through trafficking and other things? You know what I mean?
Hmm. Yeah.
So I'm gonna come back to that and do a reading on it. Just I'm glad I remembered that. And but before I do that, let me answer Lori's question on her finances for the next year. So what did you think of that theory that I came up with? Either A, the person who claimed to be a CPA was lying because there's no way to prove it, or B, that the people who are getting audited are bad guys. Oh,
That's a good.
Carol says, go ahead, Sheree.
That's a good thought. I never thought of that.
Yeah,
Could very
well, because
well
I
be.
had to try to make sense of it. If this CPA was telling the truth. Oh yeah, Carol says how the taxes are taken out of her check. Um, some There are some places where, because that's, well, in America it's not mandatory. You can just tell your employer not to take your taxes out, that you'll do it yourself. Uh, I tried that once, but my employer refused to do it because his wife was a CPA and she just wouldn't allow me to do it. I don't know why, because it's your right.
Or do like my husband and claim 10.
I'm sorry, I couldn't make that out.
I said, or do like my ex-husband and claim 10 people.
Okay, Lori, this is for your finances for the year. I wish you luck. Hopefully, you're gonna get a bunch of money from somewhere. Okay, Lori, your finances for the year. Oh, the retirement card. Are you retired? Uh, See if you can get an answer from Lori. Have you retired? Oh, and Michelle joined the 5D. Cool. Yeah. Two of Swords is the outcome. We're getting no pentacles. Oh, the Emperor. That's my that's the Donald Trump card. Oh, and the Magician.
And Lori
Okay,
said,
this is
no, not
Lori. Not yet. Trying hopefully soon. Um,
yet.
if you're of retirement age, then now the cards are saying like it's almost like your spirit, your soul is calling out for retirement. It's like I've had it. I've had enough of this. You kind of fed up with the 3D working world, which everybody is, right? I'm sure. I guess there's some people out there who probably still love their 3D jobs. Um, maybe maybe you spend too much time worrying about things, money in this case. Um, Remember, worrying about things is just praying for things that we don't want. And the Two of Swords. Well, we got no money issues, but there's no problems with money. Look, I can't help it, right? With the magician across from the emperor who is like who's running the white hats. Um, and we've been hearing all this talk about getting dividends from Trump because of the new tariffs that and this Two of Swords is like you're not going to have to think about money. The possibility that this could be happening like a UBI, universal basic income, or getting regular refund checks from the government because of the tariffs, completely possible. I got to
She
draw two
said,
more cards.
she says she's 62, has worked in healthcare for 42 years, and physically so tired, night shift or 12-hour shifts. And she says she has currency.
Oh, so the two new cards I pulled are Seven of Pentacles, which is there's our money, and it's it's not quite ready to to it hasn't quite matured yet. In other words, this new financial system that's in the works that's going to be coming out is not quite ready yet. However, then the world, which is a completely new way of handling money. All right, so I have a bias on this. I want this to be true, therefore it's a little, it. You could say that I'm just looking for this to say this, but I mean, these are the cards I'm getting. These major arcana, something, and the magician, by the way, is able to create things out of nothing, which is what money is anyway nowadays. Across from the emperor, um, I think we're all going to be getting all of us who are Americans anyway. Is Lori an American? Did she say she's not the one who's in Canada, is she?
Mm,
And let me answer Tim Brown real quick. Tim Brown says, "How can I send money?" Tim, you can buy a coffee, and I can send you I can put my coffee in the chat real. Buy me a coffee in the chat real quick. Give me a minute. But there you go, Lori. Listen, Lori, try not to think about it too. Or, well, this is the outcome. You're not going to have to be thinking about money much over sometime in the near future of 1 year. Okay.
now she says she's in South Carolina.
Oh, and by the way, she's 62. She's the same age as me. She's probably born in 1963 or 62. And they just made a rule change about the retirement age. Um, but I don't care. I'm not going to wait. I'm when I've turned 62, I want to file for retirement. Unfortunately, I can't do it until I go back to Florida again to get my state ID. All right, and here's the in the chat. Let me drop this in the chat. This is for who was it? Tim Brown. So there's the buy me a coffee, and let me give you a quick explanation because some people get confused on how this works. So if you want to buy me a coffee, come here to the page. Where is it? Oh, I think I may have given you the wrong link there too. This is a better link. Yeah, this takes you to my page. So sorry if this is dragging on kind of slowly here. I can't see I lost my cursor again. My battery's dying. There we go. So I think this is the link that I should have posted before. Oh, guys, my mouse isn't working. It's just started happening. Okay, I'm gonna have to go find a battery. Sorry, guys. Live streams, stuff happens.
Hopefully his
Because
father
father
came to visit,
came to visit
drain all of the batteries.
that's the wrong size battery. I'm gonna have to go steal a battery from my. Maybe I can take one from the remote control here.
Okay.
It's a double A. I have to steal it from my clock. Sorry, Clocky. Gotta take your heart. Hopefully, this will solve the problem. Okay. No, it's still not working. What the heck, man? Okay, I guess I can try to use the mouse pad. Now it's not working at all.
Hmm.
Oh, did I put it in the wrong way? Maybe that's what happened. All right, now it's working. All right. So, and this is for anybody who would like to buy me a coffee. Still sharing. You didn't cause a problem, Tim. This is for anybody. I should do this anyway. Yeah, you didn't cause the mouse to stop working. Okay, so where was I, Cherie? I got all distracted there.
Yeah,
So to finish this up for Lori, um,
yeah.
expect money to be coming from the government. That's what this is, or at least a, a message from the government about money that will be coming in the future. All right.
Well, Donald Trump put out today that he signed an executive order to stop the taxes coming out of Social Security checks. But
Oh
he
yeah.
did mention, don't count on it happening right away because we know that the
Right.
Democrats are going to call it through court. So
Right. Right.
he did say that
That's
today.
that's really cool. That's crazy that they take taxes from Social Security checks.
Oh yeah, well,
I mean,
it's illegal to double tax you, so they're going to double tax you.
I guess I knew that, but that's just crazy. I mean, that's horrible. Okay, and what else did I want to say? So Lori, look, you're gonna be just fine regarding money. It's not something you're gonna have to think about. Your ankle question. Okay, so Carol, did you send the question via copies? Let me see.
Yes, it looks like she did.
Okay, maybe it's traveling to me. Where did you put your question, Carol? Oh, by the way, guys, if you want to book a reading with me, come to my website, come on Telegram. Um, oh, you can search Intuitive Insights in Tarot by Scott A. Yates. Do not search Tarot by Scott. There's somebody in Arizona, and I'm not saying this person's trying to impersonate me, but there's someone in Arizona who has a website called Tarot by Scott, and his Gmail name has Tarot by Scott, and he spells by BYE, which I would never do. Okay, let me check my copies real quick, Carol. Um, and it's funny that this other tarot reader named Scott started his business in 2023 around the same time I started, which is kind of funny. I don't think they're trying to steal my identity or anything. There's, um, but okay, let me find my uh, coffee. There we go. So yeah, just be aware that there's another tarot reader named Scott out there, and don't get confused with me. I'm Intuitive Insights in Tarot. Let me post a link to my Telegram group. You can find me there. Okay, Carol, I got you. Here, let me do this real quick. Oops. Yeah, if you'd like to join the Telegram group, I don't post a lot there, um, but it's a way of keeping track with what's going on. Whenever I find something that I think is important, I will post it there. Okay, so there's my Telegram group. All right, I'm going to read Carol's question via buy me a coffee, and thanks for that, Carol. Very very generous of you. Hi, Scott. Hope you're doing well. Question, please. I fractured my ankle about 2 years ago. I can't see. Uh, about 2 years ago. And last week I fractured her right ankle 2 years ago, and her left ankle, she last week she fractured her left ankle. Am I supposed to learn something? Is there a reason for these happenings? Or are the ankle fractures just happening because I'm getting older? Okay, Carol, can you type in the chat what is older? How old are you? Because there is something called osteoporosis, right? That happens as we get older and it makes our bones more brittle.
Very
Or, like
true.
you said, is there, huh?
Very true.
Okay, yeah,
Osteoporosis.
yeah. Um, or is there some kind of lesson in this to be learned for you? It
She's
seems
a
really,
young 54.
yeah, okay. She's
Yeah,
50, in her 50s then? How old?
54. That's young.
Yeah, yeah. Unless you have some like weird bone disease, you shouldn't be. That's not getting older. That's not old yet, right? Sure.
Exactly. She says she fell off a ladder last week.
Oh, okay. That was that ankle. And how if you could say how did you break the other ankle, that could be important to understand. Fell off a ladder. Okay. Carol's ankle, broken ankles. Is there some kind of message in here, or was it just bad luck or carelessness, frankly, on your part? Sorry to be so blunt about it, but
She says 2 years ago she was carrying something heavy and stepped in a hole in the yard. Ouch.
oh, okay. So what have we got going on? I don't think you're just being careless. Um, so judgment, then across from the Empress. Sometimes this happens. I struggle really to come up with what the cards are trying to say here. Like so judgment is revelations, it's new understandings about things. Like how could breaking both ankles lead to some type of now maybe if it's meant to take you off your feet, because then by being off your feet, you get more time trying to understand yourself. The Empress, you're the divine feminine that resides inside you, like being taken off your feet, that makes you in a position where maybe people have to help you.
She said that
And
she was kind of angry at her spouse a bit each time. I felt he should be more helpful.
Okay. Oh, and yeah, and this king of swords in the middle, that's the challenge. So I think you are meant to learn something from this, that when and this five of swords down here, it's something that you brought on yourself with that resentment and that I'm sorry, it's like maybe I should take a picture of this and then send you a private message, because it's not something I think that people want to hear in public, that we kind of bring things on ourselves sometimes.
Been there, done that. Yeah.
Um, yeah, I'm afraid of anything I say could be offensive if the way it comes out. The outcome is look, your husband loves you. He's deeply in love with you. He may have a hard time telling you that, and he may not um, do the things that you think he should be doing. Um, but if there was something on an unconscious level, and also if you think about it, your feet are your where you're grounded. It's what supports you, and your ankles. And you were angry at him, and he's like symbolic of that support, right? And it's something that you put this intention into the universe, and then it came back, and you paid the price for it. The judgment came back on you.
Yeah. She
It's hard
says
for me
that
to say that. Go
she
ahead.
says that she was thinking that she brought it on herself. Bad frame of mind at the time.
I I don't like telling people that, because, well, it's not me, okay? I'm just trying to read the cards and make sense of it best I can. You understand what it was. But I think you also needed to hear that your husband does dearly, truly love you and is in love with you, even if he's not good at showing it. Okay. Maybe this was the purpose of this, for you to hear this message from the cards regarding your husband right now. I hope this helps, Carol. I really did my best to give you the best answer that you needed to hear. Okay. These things can be sensitive, Cherie. I got to be careful. I mean, I don't want to alienate people. I don't want to put blame on people, but so often, and it sounds like to me, Carol, you are taking responsibility, which is really good. A lot of people, they just don't want to take responsibility for, like, because ultimately everything that happens to us, even if it seems like it's coming from the universe, it comes from us. We are the ones, we create our reality. So if you're creating challenging situations in life, there's a reason for it, for one. And for two, it's you're the one who's creating it. Does that make sense?
Carol says, yes, thank you so much. It helps.
Okay, good. All right. Oh, so look, time's up. Different love language. Yeah. Yeah. Some men, they just really have a hard time with it. Michelle says, when I went through my divorce, I had little injuries every time I was thinking negative things. Yeah, that's kind of what we're talking about here. Well, listen, guys, I'm not going to end this, but I am going to switch over to um, members only. and I'm going to drop a link to this Zoom meeting so you guys can actually come in and join the Zoom meeting if you're a member. Okay? We've never done that before, Sheree. Something I've been meaning to do.
Yeah, sounds neat.
Yeah, I'm not sure, and I don't know how long I'm going to hang out here, and we're all just going to hang out and talk. You can ask me questions in the chat there if you want. You don't have to. I'm not asking for any more. Did I miss anybody, by the way, who had a question? Did I get everything? Can you kind of look over the comments and make sure I didn't leave anything out?
Yep, I'll backtrack here and take a look.
Okay, and while you're doing that, I'm going to say goodbye to everybody who's not a member, and I'm going to switch over to members only. Oh, no, that's not. Let's see. Where's this? I think I'm doing that. Make sure I got it right.
Virginia Elliott says, "Hi, Scott. I desperately need a car. When do you see me buying one, please? Thank you."
Okay, and what that was in the chat.
Yes, it was.
Okay, I'll do this one real quick, and then I'm switching over to members only. Okay, because I'm a little bit late on that. I was supposed to do that earlier, but and who is this for? Sheree?
Vir- Virginia Elliott.
Hey, Virginia desperately needs a car. Um, Virginia, put your email in the chat. Maybe there's somebody in the watching this who can help you. Yeah. God helps those who help themselves.
And sometimes all we
Okay,
have to do
Virginia.
is
Yeah, that's right. Okay, Virginia, you desperately need a car. Let's see what's going to happen in that regards. Yeah, there's the travel card right there. You're desperately needing that. And there's a Knight of Wands. There is a car out there for you. I'm going to leave that upside down since that's the way it came up. Oh, and there's the Fool, which is trusting in the universe will provide. And there's the Page of Wands, who's getting a gift or receiving something. However, you've got to be proactive in finding that and stop having negative thoughts. Um, this reminds me of something I wanted to talk about real quick. Um, Last night around 10:30 at night, my wife's coming home from work. She works at a market, and every once in a while, she'll bring home these chocolate cream filled donuts from the market, and they're not very good because no baked goods in Thailand are very good, but it is like a decadent thing. It's got this sugary chocolate, and she comes home last night and she hadn't brought anything home, donuts or brownies in a long time. And all of a sudden, I had this craving for one of these chocolate donuts. And I thought to myself, man, wouldn't it be great if tonight she just happened to bring home some of those chocolate donuts? Guess what? And I'm also thinking to myself, man, if she did, this is going to be some hardcore manifestation that I just did because I just suddenly this craving came out of nowhere, and I go out, and she goes, "I brought you some donuts." What? Are you kidding me right now? And we're in a stage of human consciousness right now where it's becoming much easier to to manifest these things. This is what you can do, Virginia. There's somebody out there who has a car that either they can let you have very cheap or work you can work out a deal with them or something like that. But you have to kind of put yourself out there, put the feelers out. You have to work in ways that will make it advantageous to you to get this car. I don't know what that means, but this is like strategies and stuff. Okay. But this is the one that's telling you try to get rid of those thoughts that like it's impossible to just manifest a car out of thin air basically. It's not that, but that's what it seems like. Trust in the universe that you deserve this car. There's a car out there for you, and one will be provided for you if you really, really need it. Right. And that's advice for everybody regarding manifestation. And that's why I told the donut story. And things like this are happening to me now more rapidly than ever in my life. Okay, that's the end of the show for the public. I'm going to switch over to members only and see what kind of action we get there. If nobody shows up, then I'm going to start my